What's going on, guys? We got the fight picks. It's Michael. We got Zach here as well. UFC 252, headlined by a huge main event, one of the biggest heavyweight fights in UFC history, MMA history. But we're not talking about that for right now. We're talking about the first fight of the night in Chris Daukaus versus Parker Porter. Chris Daukaus, obviously the brother of Kyle Daukaus, who we saw fight recently against Brendan Allen. Parker Porter, 35 years old. Man, this dude's got a kind of an interesting record, to say the least. Having fought, believe it or not, John Jones. I guess you could say fought because it was a 36-second fight where John Jones got the knockout. And then actually fought Gabriel Gonzaga as well and got submitted by him in the third round. So I watched a little bit of tape on Parker Porter and Chris Daukaus. What I noticed is, well, the first thing I saw with Chris Daukaus is the only fight I could find was his first ever pro fight. And he ended up getting the win, a TKO victory in the first round. So not really much to see, especially with that fight being way back in 2013. Can't really tell too much about this guy. But from what it seems in the record, it seems that this guy is a finisher, and he also gets finished. He's got two TKO losses, one loss via submission, 7 TKO wins, and 1 decision. Just looking at the differences in that, Parker Porter is. I watched a lot of tape on this dude, and this dude is it's weird because you wouldn't say he's a technical striker because he really isn't a technical striker, but he likes to come forward with this overlooping big right hand, and he uses that to kind of find out where his opponent is going. You'll see where he props forward and he'll step forward, and when he gets his opponent straight in range, he launches his right hand. He's got power shots. And really, honestly, just looking at what I saw on the tape with Parker Porter, it just seems like I'm going to have to go with him here. It's a very, very close fight. Just talking about this fight here, Chris Daukaus, looking at the people who he's fought, his last victory was a TKO victory over Danny Holmes. Danny Holmes was 4-5, and was also moving up to heavyweight, and also hadn't fought in 3 years at the time. So, and looking at Parker Porter hasn't fought since September. But this dude has been finishing people. He got his last loss was to Keith Bell getting a disqualification. But just looking at the difference in opponents, you take away the Gonzaga and Jones fight, and those were in both of their primes. And this dude's got only 3 losses, and they're kind of spread out. So I'm not saying Parker Porter's this crazy guy where he's definitely going to win this. You got to watch out for him. I think really what it comes down to is just looking at the talent-wise of who they fought, the output of what has happened, and just kind of having to lead towards Parker Porter. Not too confident in this one, but I'm definitely going to say this one goes to decision. So yeah, Parker Porter. I'll take Parker Porter. Passing to the calculator. Scrolling all the way down here, we got Parker Porter at a 66% chance to win. Kind of high, in my opinion. I got it a little bit lower, but I am going with Parker Porter as well.
Yeah, I'd say that is a bit high considering we have I want to patent this, big, sloppy heavyweight fight. It's just a term that it's so applicable with a lot of the heavyweights that the UFC is throwing in these days, because if you look at both of these guys, they have that classic, not built like a professional fighter, and they just like to swing. There's not a lot of technique in what they do. Now, Chris Daukaus, you would think, being the brother of Kyle Daukaus, that he has that wrestling pedigree that his brother has. No, not really. I would say not Sean. Why do I keep wanting to call him Sean? Parker Porter has the better wrestling in this fight, but that's not like it's going to matter. This fight's going to be a very sloppy striking affair. I'm going to tell you that now. I think this fight was brought in because they need fights to fill the card. There's no other reason that there's 2 debuting kind of average heavyweights that are pretty old. Both of them are 30 and up, who haven't fought in a year. This fight's to fill out space on the card. That is just what it is. But if we look at it, you mentioned that Parker Porter, I keep wanting to call him Sean, is very, very good with that right hand. That is his absolute best weapon, and he knows how to use it. He has fought the better competition, and the one thing in this fight that tells me a lot is that Daukaus, cardio problems, big time. The only time he went to decision was when he won a decision against a 3-3 opponent. Meanwhile, Parker Porter has gone to the third round plenty of times. So I think if this fight gets out of the first round, it's Parker Porter's fight to lose. He has the better cardio. I think he does have the better striking. He's fought the better competition. I'm going to go with Parker Porter in this fight. It's not really confident because you cannot be confident on fights like these. You just can't, because anything can happen. It's a big, sloppy heavyweight fight. But yeah, Parker Porter is my pick. I think he's going to knock him out late finish.
Yeah, and just to touch on along what you were talking about, it's these guys are both debuting fighters. These guys are both guys who we've seen them have huge knockouts. We've also seen them kind of have some not really stellar performances, but I totally agree with you with they're just trying to fill the card. And I actually kind of messed up here because there is another, this is not the first fight of the night. We got Kamaka and Kelly going on for the first fight of the night, at least from what I'm seeing here. But we talked about this fight. We both got Porter. We want to know what you guys think, because this is a very, very kind of pick your poison type fight, because this is a fight that I would go nowhere close to if I was betting, just because we really don't know. These guys haven't fought anywhere near the rankings of opponents, at least recently. So I want to know what you guys think. If you guys got a definitive answer, let us know. Just drop your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you guys are liking the video and subscribing to the channel, and make sure you guys check out the other Fight Pick videos.